I feel that as a children, we teach them, we guide them, and then we give them the wings to fly.
15 women have accused him of sexual assault. We've heard about the Stormy Daniels story, that he allegedly paid $130,000.
Hi, this is Macy. When news broke that Melania Trump was gearing up for a major confrontation with The View, few at the network took it seriously. Controversy was nothing new for the show, and a sharp comment about a public figure didn't usually raise eyebrows. But as whispers turned into concrete rumors of a $50 million defamation lawsuit, panic quickly set in. Producers and cast members started revisiting past episodes, scrutinizing every word, tone, and context. What initially felt like just another headline escalated into a full-blown crisis. Backstage, tension grew as it became clear Melania was determined to move forward with her claim. The trouble reportedly began weeks earlier when co-host Sunny Hostin made bold comments about Melania's past during a live segment. Drawing from unverified social media rumors, Sunny framed them as part of a bigger discussion. The show quickly moved on, as it often does, hopping from one topic to the next. While most viewers likely forgot about the remarks within a day, Melania clearly did not. Behind the scenes, things took a serious turn when a formal letter, rumored to be from Melania's legal team, arrived at the network. Though no one confirmed it publicly, the reactions of the recipients spoke volumes. As more details emerged, the lawsuit appeared to be very real, with reports suggesting Melania was seeking a staggering $50 million in damages. The usually lively atmosphere at The View shifted. Staff met in hushed tones behind closed doors, and producers pored over transcripts to assess any potential liability. Sunny's comments were analyzed in detail, and the words of other co-hosts like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg were carefully reviewed to determine if they had contributed to the issue. Initially, some dismissed the situation as just another hollow legal threat from a public figure upset over criticism. But it soon became evident that Melania's team wasn't bluffing. The looming legal battle created a culture of caution, where outspoken remarks, the hallmark of The View, were suddenly being curbed. Sunny, known for her fiery commentary, was shocked to learn the legal risks her remarks might pose. She believed she was simply continuing the show's tradition of bold, candid discussions. But this time, the stakes were much higher. If her words were found to be legally actionable, it wouldn't just impact her career, it could jeopardize the entire show. Even Joy Behar, famous for her sharp humor, began holding back during discussions involving Melania or her family. The tension was palpable, and everyone sensed that something major was unfolding.
He taught me, all the mathematical tables, and by the time I got into third grade, the teacher said, "She's just passed all the standardized tests up to 12th grade. We've got to move her out." So I moved. They found a place for me in Manhattan.
The tension reached a breaking point during a heated exchange between Sunny Hostin and a producer. The producer suggested issuing an on-air clarification or apology to mitigate potential legal fallout. Sunny was visibly frustrated, arguing that such a move would imply guilt before the lawsuit had even been reviewed. "This is about my right to express an opinion," she insisted, her voice raised, a rare moment for someone known for her composure behind the scenes. The disagreement spilled into the hallway, where a group of crew members witnessed the clash. Attempts to mediate were unsuccessful, as both sides dug in, with others urging patience until the network's legal team finalized a strategy. Once the lawsuit was officially filed, ABC's legal department issued a memo instructing all hosts to avoid mentioning Melania or the case on air. This wasn't a suggestion, it was a mandate. Segments were swiftly swapped out for lighter, non-controversial content. Celebrity interviews, book promotions, and lifestyle features replaced the show's usual fiery debates. Loyal viewers quickly noticed the shift. The vibrant, confrontational energy that had defined The View seemed replaced by a cautious, overly polite tone. Ratings dipped and social media buzzed with speculation that the show was buckling under pressure. Melania's legal team capitalized on the situation, giving carefully crafted interviews to highlight their case. They argued that The View had irresponsibly presented unverified rumors as fact, harming Melania's reputation on a national scale. Public sentiment began to tilt in her favor, with many seeing the lawsuit as a stand against defamation. Behind the scenes, ABC executives held daily crisis meetings. Financial analysts warned that the legal costs could skyrocket, and losing the case could deal a significant blow to the network. Sponsors grew wary, with some reconsidering their ties to a show embroiled in controversy. Within 2 weeks, at least 2 major advertisers reduced their commitments, citing concerns over the legal uncertainty. The production team was put on high alert. Every script, segment, and unscripted comment was meticulously vetted to avoid further missteps. The strain on the cast became evident. Whoopi Goldberg took a neutral stance, defending the show's tradition of open discussion, but urging caution given the severity of the claims. Joy Behar, usually the comedic relief, found it harder to lighten the mood without risking misinterpretation. Even her jokes felt like potential legal fodder. Meanwhile, Sunny, at the center of the storm, tried to project confidence. She privately maintained that her remarks were based on widely circulated rumors, not fabrications. Yet the tension on set grew heavier each day, leading to what would become one of The View's most unforgettable episodes. That day started quietly enough, with the hosts discussing life-altered topics, like a viral dance video.
I was reluctant to share it, actually.
Why?
I will tell you, because I knew that it would get pickup. I knew that it would be Sunny Hostin from The View. And
so what?
I know.
But this happened to you. You weren't lying.
It happened, but I will tell you, right after it happened, I went over to Joy Behar's house. And she said, "What's wrong with you? You're not your usual self." And I told her, and she said, "We're talking about this on the show."
Midway through the episode, a producer signaled for the panel to transition to a segment about media ethics. The idea was to keep the discussion broad, avoiding direct references to the show's legal troubles. But in the unpredictable environment of live TV, the conversation veered dangerously close to the elephant in the room. Sunny, perhaps feeling cornered by the unspoken tension, steered the discussion toward how lawsuits can be used to silence critics. Producers behind the scenes frantically signaled for a pivot, but she pressed on, arguing that powerful figures often use legal threats to suppress important conversations. The other co-hosts exchanged uneasy glances, unsure how to respond. Joy Behar tried to break the tension with a quip about deep pockets and the cost of legal battles. Instead of diffusing the situation, her comment landed awkwardly, amplifying the discomfort. The camera cut between the co-hosts, showing a mix of anxiety and alarm as producers urgently instructed them to change the subject. Yet, they all seemed frozen, aware that addressing the situation further could worsen their legal exposure. When the show finally cut to a commercial break, chaos erupted backstage. Producers berated the hosts for straying off script, fearing the fallout from Melania Trump's legal team. Crew members scrambled in all directions to contain the damage as tension boiled over. When the show returned, the co-hosts were visibly shaken, their usual confidence replaced with a subdued and cautious tone. That night, social media exploded with speculation. Viewers debated Sunny's remarks and joked about the behind-the-scenes meltdown. Clips of the segment circulated online, reigniting discussions about whether The View had crossed a line. Meanwhile, ABC executives realized they were running out of options. Over the next 48 hours, a series of urgent meetings took place at the network. The fallout from the episode proved too much. Major advertisers, already on edge, began pulling their contracts entirely. Without sponsor support, the financial viability of the show crumbled. ABC announced an immediate production hiatus, officially framing it as a pause to reassess the show's direction. However, insiders knew the truth. The View was effectively cancelled. Staff were informed via email and text, while an official statement thanked viewers for their loyalty and hinted at new programming opportunities. Notably, it made no mention of Melania Trump or the lawsuit. The news sent shockwaves through the world of daytime television. Headlines like "The View cancelled amid $50 million defamation lawsuit" dominated media outlets, cementing the idea that Melania's legal battle had sealed the show's fate. For fans, the cancellation was stunning. The View, once a cornerstone of daytime TV known for its outspoken co-hosts and spirited debates, was now gone, its legacy overshadowed by one of the most high-profile legal battles in television history.
Right? They had a vision of how do we create community and create a space where we are welcome in a country where we are not welcome. And I think that was the goal, has been the goal, and they have really maintained that goal.
Rival talk shows watched the fallout from The View's cancellation with a mix of curiosity and concern. If such a major brand could be brought down by a high-stakes lawsuit, they realized no one was safe. Public reaction was swift and divided. Some supported Melania, agreeing that The View had crossed a line, while others mourned the loss of a show that tackled everything from politics to pop culture, providing a platform for women to speak their minds. Calls to revive the show gained some traction, but the legal storm overshadowed any efforts. Behind the scenes, the emotional toll on the hosts was undeniable. Sunny, at the center of the controversy, struggled deeply. She was reportedly inconsolable, moving from frustration to guilt to sorrow, often in the span of a single day. While she stood by her beliefs, she couldn't shake the realization that her comments had set off a chain of events that led to the show's downfall. She tried to remain strong publicly, but those close to her said she seemed haunted by how quickly things had spiraled out of control. Joy Behar issued a brief statement expressing shock and sadness over the show's sudden end. She refrained from blaming Sunny or the network, instead emphasizing the need to protect spaces for open dialogue. Whoopi Goldberg, similarly disheartened, didn't give any interviews but shared a cryptic message on social media about staying true to oneself during difficult times. Other co-hosts and contributors stayed quiet, possibly worried about the personal legal risks if the lawsuit were to expand. Meanwhile, Melania's legal team celebrated their victory in the media, framing the lawsuit as proof of the seriousness of defamation laws. They portrayed Melania's actions as necessary to protect her reputation from what they called reckless, unfounded rumors. Critics argued that this was an attempt to silence her detractors, but Melania's team stood firm, stating they only pursued legal action after The View's commentary went beyond opinion and crossed into defamation. With the show cancelled, many wondered if Melania would drop or settle the lawsuit, but early signs pointed to her determination to push for a legal judgment or a formal apology. The staff at The View was suddenly without work. Producers, writers, and crew members who had been with the show from the beginning packed up their things in a quiet exodus. Conversations were filled with disbelief. While they had weathered controversies before, nothing had been as devastating as this. Some staff members felt angry, believing the network had thrown them under the bus rather than standing up to the lawsuit. Others blamed Sunny, saying her comments had crossed the line from fair commentary into something much more harmful.
You really did, and you were like, I heard you coming on the show, and I was like, yeah, I'm joining the show. She was like, did they give you car stipend? I was like, no. Did they give you this? I was like, no. I was like, let me get my deal sheet out. And you basically went over your salary for the entire time you were there. And you also gave me Jenny McCarthy's salary.
Despite the fallout, a smaller group of people continued to support Sunny, arguing that The View had built its reputation on bold, open discussions. However, the lack of an official severance plan caused frustration and resentment, as everyone scrambled to find new opportunities in a tough job market. Meanwhile, Melania Trump's name remained in the headlines. Some political analysts praised her legal move as a strong defense of her reputation, while others saw it as a troubling precedent that could make talk show hosts think twice before speaking freely. The debate over free speech and defamation laws raged on across news outlets and social media, with many pointing to The View's downfall as a cautionary tale about how quickly lively conversation can cross into legal danger. For every critic who thought Melania's actions were too harsh, there were those who applauded her for standing up for her reputation and challenging what they considered slander. As the lawsuit continued, insiders revealed that depositions were being scheduled. The production team grew nervous, fearing they'd be called to testify and that private communications about the controversial segment might become public. The idea of such evidence surfacing only heightened the anxiety among former employees. The tight-knit team that once united, The View now seemed fractured, replaced by suspicion and legal worries. Despite all of this, a significant portion of the show's fan base kept pushing for answers. It wanted to know how such an iconic daytime show could disappear so suddenly. Where was the farewell episode that should have celebrated The View's legacy with clips of its funniest and most heartfelt moments? Fans speculated whether the final, awkward on-air moment, when Sunny and Joy hinted at the nature of the lawsuit, but never fully named it, would remain the last live moment from the show. The sense of confusion and loss spread across social media, where petitions calling for the show's return gained traction. But ABC stayed silent, following their legal team's advice. As time passed, other stories took the spotlight, but the memory of The View's sudden collapse lingered. Pundits still occasionally revisited the show's fall, using it as an example of how quickly things can change in the entertainment world.
15 women have accused him of sexual assault. We've heard about the Stormy Daniels story, that he allegedly paid $130,000.
Were you pissed that she canceled on your show?
I was. Only because, we're a very supportive environment for women. I think any guest will tell you that.
The sudden end of The View served as a powerful reminder that multi-million-dollar lawsuits can bring down not only careers but entire institutions. Despite disclaimers like, "This is just our opinion," one wrong move can lead to legal consequences that are hard to imagine. For many who had long admired The View as a platform for bold debate, the show's cancellation felt like a bittersweet conclusion. Fans fondly remembered the groundbreaking political and cultural discussions, the moments of unity when co-hosts put aside their differences, and the comedic relief Joy always provided. Yet, they also acknowledged the show's imperfections, times when segments blurred the line between fact and rumor, and when it pushed boundaries without fully considering the fallout.